Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into Morning in the Valley. I'm Jeff Bidwell. It is September the 10th. It is getting away. It is getting away ever so quickly as we are now T-minus 54 days from getting ready to fire up the season. Today, we've got stuff to argue about because isn't that what sports is all about in the end, as the Blue Ribbon College Basketball Yearbook is out, and they've got their preseason rankings and preseason player of the years and preseason all-conference teams, and we will get into that in just a moment. In just a couple of minutes, we will talk with the GOAT of Murray State women's basketball, Katelyn Young, sort of in certain corners, the worst kept secret, but caught a lot of people off guard this week, and really a great time for the Murray State women's program as the best to ever wear a uniform at Murray State is back. She has joined Rochelle Turner's coaching staff. Spent a few months down in Australia playing professionally, but she has put her playing career to bed, and she will join us here in just a few minutes to talk about her decision to, after just leaving Murray State just a couple of months ago, back, but now in a very different role. And again, a very good day for Murray State women's basketball. If you haven't done so already, please hit us up over on YouTube, search out Morning in the Valley, and subscribe for free. Comment, share, like, all that stuff. And look, I guess this is a little crowdsourcing while you're there, while you're subscribing. Just leave a comment for me. And as we get closer to the season, I have done my best here in the last 5.5 months since we started this little project to, try to give to you what I would want out of a show like this. But if there's anything you think we can do differently, think we can do better, things you'd like to see that we haven't done, things once we get into the season, what do you want to see when we get into the day by day in the season? Let us know so we can try it, because ultimately this show is for you. And so I want to be able to cater it to what you all want. So help us out. But while you're there, again, YouTube, Morning in the Valley, subscribe, please. Thank you. All right. News of the day. And we are going to start today with our fine friends at the Blue Ribbon College Basketball Yearbook. And they have put out their annual preseason poll and their annual preseason awards. And to really no surprise in any world, in the end, Chase Walker from Illinois State, the preseason player of the year. We'll get to all of that in just a moment. In the end, the part that everybody was going to want to argue over, because that's what we do, especially in a preseason poll. That means, nothing. But hey, let's get after it. These are the, well, I brought up the wrong thing. So let's, we're going to try this one more time. We have the Illinois State is the preseason pick. Again, no question. They were with 4 starters back, and really, I think in the end, when you look at the preseason poll, and here it is, the top 2, there's no real discussion. I mean, I just felt like it's going to be Illinois State, it's going to be Northern Iowa, and this should be when we have polls that come out, when we have, the KenPom rankings are going to come out, the whatever preseason publication you want to get into, when we have the media, the coaches, everybody votes. I will be surprised if 1-2 is not Illinois State, is not Northern Iowa, simply because that is where all the returning is. That is where it is all focused, how many folks they all have back. And so that's where I was like, there is very little argument for me. The conversation begins at number 3, and that's when Belmont comes in. And whether you want to put Belmont there, whether you want to put Murray State, for me, the real surprise has just come down to Bradley maybe just a hint low at 5. Maybe would have expected them a little higher. The fact that Drake is 7, the fact they've been to the NCAA tournament 3 years in a row. Yes, they have a new coach. Yes, they have everybody. It's basically a brand new roster, but we played that song last year and they were awesome. So it's almost almost a program pedigree thing. I'm almost just a little surprised they're at 7. And then at the bottom, I guess I'm a little surprised Indiana State is down there. I mean, I think it's just the kind of the shuffle up of, is it going to be Evansville? Is it going to be Valpo? Is it going to be Indiana State? I don't know that I would have put Indiana State there, but The Sycamores are there, and already some early conversation from corners rather of the Sycamore Nation. The chip is on their shoulder, so we'll see how that shakes out. The top five, the first team, I guess, should not really be any surprise. You have Chase Walker, you have Trey Campbell, you have Johnny Kinziger. Those are the three returning all-league guys, so of course they're going to be there. Tyler Lundblade from Belmont led America in three-point shooting last year. No problem with him there. I think the fifth spot was up for grabs, and I think in the end they opted, the Blue Ribbon folks opted to go with Isaiah Stafford from SIU, sat out last year with the injury, but comes from Valpo, had a great year at Valpo a couple of years. And I think, again, just in the era sort of the everybody is new and so much is unknown, you kind of go with a proven commodity, and that ultimately is what Isaiah Stafford is. The newcomer of the year, Murray State's Lane Taylor. Again, from how many guys have come in from other places, and yes, they had a high pedigree, once upon a time, highly recruited coming in, but maybe they averaged 2 points a game or 3 points a game. Layton Taylor averaged 17 a game last year before he had shoulder surgery down at Central Arkansas. Obviously a step up in competition, but he gets the nod from the Blue Ribbon folks to be the newcomer of the year. So argument number one of many coming up in the coming weeks as we go through the preseason polls here. But Illinois State, again, no surprise at number one to be the preseason pick in the Missouri Valley. All right, the big news around Murray State this week is a young lady that we bid adieu to a couple of months ago, as Katelyn Young has returned to Murray State, and she is joining Rochelle Turner's staff as an assistant coach. They had a vacancy. Brittany Patrick, assistant coach, left for Northern Illinois a couple of months ago, and they kind of left it open for a little while. It was just a matter of time of who's it going to be? Who are they going to fill it with? And, well, who did they fill it with but one, Katelyn Young? And let us welcome in our guest today, our guest of honor, Katelyn Young. Good morning to you, ma'am. How is life as an employee now treating you so far?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different than I'm used to and stuff, but it's going good.
Okay, let's go. I don't know how far back to the beginning on this we want to go, but we talked the other day, and you said there was a time at some point during the season you're like, well, maybe. And Rochelle Turner has said forever that whenever it was broached to you, that you sort of just shoot her away. And she, I think there was no chance you were going to be an assistant, come on staff in any capacity, grad assistant, whatever it wanted to be.
Mhm.
But you said that things changed a little bit. When did that happen? How did that happen? Why did that happen?
Yeah, I kind of think it was during my fifth year. I really took on that leadership role of just kind of helping the younger girls and kind of sharing my knowledge, which I started to really enjoy. I just liked telling things and then seeing the changes in them being successful at it. So I kind of found the joy then, and then I was like, well, this might actually could be something.
So what was the timeline of the conversation that Coach Turner had with you where she was like, hey, what do you think?
Yeah, it was whenever Brittany left. I think I came in one day just because I was still shooting and everything, getting ready for Australia, and she goes, so I have to offer you this. Would you like to be an assistant coach? And then like it hit me out of nowhere. I was like, I was not expecting this at all. So I definitely had to think about it for a while. I was talking to teams over in Europe and stuff, so I was kind of debating if I should go over to Europe, continue playing, or kind of focus on my future.
How long did it officially take you to say yes? Was that before you left for Australia?
Um, yeah, I think it was like right before I left for Australia. So I kind of knew going into Australia this was going to be it, so I wanted to make the most of it and just kind of make relationships over there that hopefully will last a lifetime.
Before we get back to more of the coaching stuff, just the professional side. What is it like being a professional basketball player? I would say halfway around the world. It just feels like you were all the way around the world, all the way down there in Australia.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I really enjoyed it, honestly. I think you kind of have like a mindset that people are going to be like straight business and like not tons of relationships are built, but that was like completely opposite in my situation. Everyone was super super nice. They were so welcoming and like so willing to help me too. I came in halfway through the season not really knowing exactly like the system and all that type of stuff. They were so willing just to help and give tips and be so encouraging.
So if my math was right, you played in 16 games down there and
Hmm.
went 16-0,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
And you win 2 championships, down
Hmm.
in the NBL, 1 down there in Australia. Just obviously, you're going into a winning situation and you're coming from a place that was a winning situation, but you were obviously the North Star of that program and so on. But now you're going in. What was it like, again, mid-year, trying to just fit in and find your place on sort of a shortened timeline?
Yeah, our team over there was really, really stacked. We had so many great players, honestly. So I was just kind of like going in, trying to find like where I can fit in with everybody. So it took a couple weeks, definitely, especially for the whole team, just gelling together, being able to have chemistry on the floor. So that took a while, but like towards the end, we were really getting it together, and it came out better. So.
I know that Coach Turner gave you some escape hatches. Like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? When you got down there and you started experiencing professional basketball, and look, it ends for all of us at some point.
Mhm.
Some of us way earlier than others, but it's like when you have to finally give it up. Was there any pull for you of like, maybe I do want to go to Europe. Maybe I want to come back here, play for a couple more years. The coaching's always going to be there, but it's just not yet.
Yeah, definitely. Once I started just like creating the relationships, for me, it's huge on relationships and everything, just making sure everything fits well. Once I really started getting that in Australia, I was like, oh gosh, do I really just want to like give it up right now? But ultimately, it had to be done. I think this is just a great opportunity for me to kind of get my foot in the door, see what happens, and everything like that. So.
You have you're engaged. I mean, you have family situation. I mean, it's like, you're already a next step in life and so
Mhm.
on. And so, I mean, did that play any role of you know, I don't know that I need to be globetrotting, till I'm 30 years old or anything. I mean, did that play a role?
Yeah, definitely. Also, just like like I've said, I'm a huge relationship person. I love the people that I'm around, and also my family. So it was definitely hard to like be away, but we got it all figured out eventually. But that definitely played a role.
Okay, so you come back. Yeah, we have this championship run in Australia, and it's all well, and we fly home. I saw you in the office on Monday. Was
Mhm.
that the first day that
Yes,
you
that was
were,
my first day. I flew into America on Saturday, so
and come right to work, got the paperwork signed, and you are officially official. You have walked around that building for 5 years,
mhm.
and now you walk into a different part where you don't have a locker, you have a desk.
Yes.
What what just what is it like for you, just being there? You're everything you accomplished in the other room in that gym, in both gyms, and your jersey hanging from the rafters and so on. But it's like now we're taking this hard right turn to this other path. Just where is your head at with all of it now? 48 hours into the process.
Yeah, we had practice the other day, and it was just weird not being out on the court with the girls. I was like, oh my gosh, it was just so weird. But just kind of being able to help them get better and also learn the system too. We're changing some things, so I'm not completely used to everything. So learning along the way and then just trying to help the girls as much as possible.
Have you led any workouts or anything yet?
Not led any yet, not led, but I've definitely helped. So I'm kind of learning from coaches, kind of what to do and help with the system and stuff. It's funny because I've been doing workouts my entire life, and I come here and I'm like, oh, do I know how to do a workout? Do I know how to lead one? So it's just funny.
How inwardly joyful are you in watching your former teammates run and run and run, and you can stand on the side and just watch?
That is probably one of the things I was looking forward to. I was like, ooh, I don't have to be out there running anymore. So, definitely brings some joy. But
When we talked and you sort of had your exit interview, and I thought the last time I would ever be talking to you back after the NCAA tournament in March, and the thing that struck me with you was your transformation from an outward personality standpoint, to dopes in the media talking to you, from when we saw you as a freshman 5 years ago, where it was like literally pulling teeth to get forwards out of you, and it was like, well, now we can have a nice pleasant conversation. You're just comfortable in your own skin, and that's part of coaching, obviously, is the communication part, and being able to get whatever's in your head out to the players. How comfortable do you feel like you are right now, and is that going to be a work in progress of, hey, it's one thing to be friends in the locker room and in dinner and so on, but now I've got to be able to communicate and get what my points across right now?
yeah, I think I kind of go back to the fifth year again. I
Yeah.
really took on that leadership role and kind of stepped into where I'm telling people what I see, like the reads I'm seeing and stuff. So just kind of leaning back on that. And I don't think on the court exactly I was always everyone's friend. I might have yelled at some people, but so just kind of leaning back on that and just like knowing, being confident in what I know. So.
We have seen, look, coaches hop in and they got to hop in drills. And sometimes a lot of times it's just, hey, we're out on the perimeter swinging passes around from one way to another. But there are not many assistant coaches in the country that scored 3,000 points in their career. Do you anticipate Coach Turner? I mean, like, you're running stuff on the post and really being hands on with trying to help these kids improve?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely a benefit to her that I've played for her and understand what she wants and everything like that. So just being able to go out there and really break down the tips of I know what Coach Turner wants. I think it'll really help them.
You have been there through the building, and you got there. I mean, this is Coach Turner's going into now year number 9. So you got there at the start of year number 4, from the culture building and obviously the championship building that you guys were able to, reach the mountaintop back in March. What has been the biggest key in your mind of just the progression of growth over 5 years as a program that helped you guys have the success that you had really the last several years, but the ultimate last year in getting to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, from a culture stance, I think it's also just relationships and all that stuff. Building it on the court, off the court, all that. But also, I think it's just the mindset that we can be good and we can be at the top of this league and practicing that way every single day.
Have you been in any staff meetings yet? I guess that's question number 1.
No, I haven't.
Are you, have you, what's maybe the I don't want to say the dirty little secret, but maybe the part of the, ooh, I get to pull that curtain back and be a part of that now that maybe I was on the other side of the door and I saw them meeting. And so what part of that are you looking forward to the most, that you get to hear all the internal thoughts from the coaching staff?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be completely different. Coach Turner said it like when I was a player and stuff, but you just never know how much goes into coaching. And I think that in those meetings, that's where I'm going to really find out. So I'm excited to kind of, be in the background of like, okay, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're putting this in, or just different stuff like that. It's going to be fun to like get a better understanding and really know the details of everything.
You are going to get to go out on the road at some point and recruit and try to find the next generation of racers. You have been recruited. You have not been
Mhm.
a recruiter. What is what are you most looking forward to with that? And maybe what's the one thing you're like kind of antsy about a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, while you're a player, you kind of recruit also just because they're here on campus and all that stuff. So I'm used to that type of recruiting. But kind of going out and finding girls, I'm definitely going to have to get some parameters on what they want and everything like that. But I'm just excited to, go back to AAU. I love my AAU days, kind of just being in those gyms with tons of peoples and tons of courts and all that type of stuff, trying to find the best players. So I'm excited for that.
Said Rochelle Turner going into season number 9. You guys have had an incredible relationship, have an incredible relationship. It's going to change a little bit going from coach to player now to boss. As she joked that maybe Monica Evans is maybe the real boss over there in the offices. But what makes her special? What makes your relationship special? And why for you was it just such a slam dunk to be able to come back and work for her in this program?
Yeah, she's a real special person, honestly. Just the way she can care for you, but also be like your mother and then like a true boss telling you what to do is just amazing. And the balance she's able to do is awesome. And honestly, I wanted to be a part of that. Um, any type of job I want to be in, I kind of want to be like her, being able to be caring about people, but also being able to be the boss. So.
Has there been any rookie hazing at any point from any of the coaching staff quite yet? Like you doing donut runs or what's happening so far?
Not the coaches, but the girls, I'll tell you that. They're all just like joking around with me, calling me Coach Kate. I'm like, you guys can just call me Caitlin. It's okay. But definitely, I think the girls have given me a harder time.
What is that going to be like for you, having to coach them and the relationship probably having to just tweak a little bit, from a
Yeah,
social setting?
yeah, it definitely tweaks a little bit. I think like we'll still all be super close. Like you can't take our past away.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can't. It will change. We can't be hanging out and stuff like that. But just kind of building a different type of relationship with them at the gym. Still caring about them off the court and all that stuff. But yeah, it's definitely going to be a change.
When did they find out?
um, I think it was whenever they got back here during the summer, I believe. Turner kind of already knew, and I still had to go through all the process and stuff like that. But all of them, she told them in a meeting, and they were all super excited. So that's always good to hear whenever just former players and new players are excited for you to come back.
Well, there are a lot of people excited to have you back in the
Yes.
building. Katelyn Young, thank you so much. Enjoy. There's no downtime now. You're a coach. It's 24/7, 365
Yeah.
now. So
Mm-hmm.
100%. So I'll let you get back to work. Thank you for the time today, and we'll certainly see you soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. There is the GOAT, Katelyn Young. It is, as I said the other day, it is a good day for Murray State women's basketball when the best ever to roll in. School's all-time leading scorer, school's all-time leading rebounder. I think 12th all-time in Division I history in scoring. It's not a bad staff acquisition there for Rochelle Turner. So good on her for coming back. And look, I can't man, I couldn't even I couldn't really empathize with the decision. And I guess just from and I sort of alluded to it there when it comes to when you have to give it up. And again, for so many of us, whatever it may be, whether it's after college, whether it's in middle school or somewhere in between, at some point, the game just tells you, yeah, I think we're good here. We don't need you anymore. And that was certainly not so it's like the decision's taken out of your hands. But to be able um to have to make that decision of I think I'm done and I need to move on to the next phase of my life. That's hard. That's a hard button to push. And so I give her all the credit for walking away because there was certainly still a whole lot left in the tank. But boy, she's going into a great situation there at her alma mater, and certainly a whole lot of credibility as a coach walking in the door. And not that she would ever do it in 100 years, But all those players on that roster, all they got to do is kind of look up at the ceiling in the building and see that number 31 hanging from the rafters, and they know they could probably listen to what she has to say because she's probably got some good stuff to offer. So, all right, back on to more headlines of the day today. And we have more schedules. And thankfully, this was one that was kind of hanging out there a little bit. And our friends at Northern Iowa, Ben Jacobson, have released their non-conference schedule. And overall, it's season number 125 for UNI this year. And overall, I'm okay with it, as if I'm some sort of judge and jury on everyone's schedule. But their schedule is concerning to me from a standpoint of they have a lot of really good teams, and the concerning part is that from a metric standpoint, I hope they get paid off for that, playing all those good teams. The real value in the schedule is on the road and the neutral. 7 home games, 2 neutrals, 2 roads. Awesome to be able to get that many home games. I've got some return games of some home and homes and so on. But again, the real value is on the road. And looking at the Bart Torvik projections, going to St. Mary, that's a huge game. That'll be a quad 1 game. You're going to UC Irvine to return the game from a year ago. That looks like that'll be a quad 2 game. Very good. Neutral site game. They're playing in that Acrisure series out in California around Thanksgiving. They'll get Loyola Chicago, Old Valley friends. That should be a quad 2. And then in the second game, it'll be Tulsa or San Jose State, quad 3 or quad 4. The home games. Now, look, you have to have at home to be a quad 2 or better, you've got to play somebody that's a top 75 in the net. And they don't have any of those games. And unfortunately for them, I say unfortunately, they have 3 good teams coming in. They have South Dakota State coming in. They have Furman coming in. They have Wichita State coming in. You just hope that those teams can carry their water and take care of their business throughout the year. Because, I mean, those teams, Wichita's 123, Furman's 124, South Dakota State 154. Those are 3 good teams, but they're quad 3 games. And those are the danger games because it's again, from a metric standpoint, you don't really get credit if you win them, but boy, they ding you if you lose them. And so the benefit there, as you hope, is that those are they're at home and hopefully you can take care of business. The other quad 4s, Cal State, Northridge, Northern Illinois, Oakland, you got one non-D1 as well, but they've got good teams on there. It's just, it's metrically scary because again, you win them, people shrug. You got a quad 3 win. Ho hum. But if you lose, it's like it's the end of the world. And but you got Wichita State to come in. It's like that is a very good team, not to mention Furman. So this is it's kind of a red light flash and a little bit of danger to be careful with this one. But the good thing is, again, so many of those at home, and hopefully they can take care of business there at the McLeod Center. All right. Sammy Dowd. As we go to Evansville, Sammy Dowd has been promoted to assistant coach and director of player development. Spent 2 years as a grad assistant there at Evansville. Was the director of ops last year with David Ragland, and now he has been promoted to assistant coach and director of player personnel. I can't believe we're already talking about this, but it's kind of awesome that we are. Meeks Madness, Evansville already promoting like, hey, we're getting ready to fire up and get ready for this basketball season. And they're doing it in less than 3 weeks, September 27th. They'll have their men's and women's teams over there at the Meeks Family Fieldhouse and going through their, the old days of Midnight Madness, going with Meeks Madness. And so I'm usually see this stuff in October to get a little closer, but now you get those exhibition games and schedules have been moved up a little bit. So happy to celebrate basketball, happy to put the highlight on the basketball programs, and Evansville will be doing that coming up on September the 27th in just 17 days. And finally, this morning, we've got another commitment from Illinois State as Ryan Peden continues to try to put up a wall around Illinois and saying, if you are talented and you are from the land of Lincoln, you're not leaving. And he has gone into Chicago for the second time, and he has gotten a commitment from a 6'8" forward by the name of Matthew Safoni. He has committed to the Redbirds, the second 2026 commitment for Coach Peden, the second to come out of Chicago. Jordan Williams, also from Chicago, committed a couple of weeks ago, the 6'5" wing. And so 6'5", 6'8", coming in next season. They're losing, from a graduation standpoint, losing 4 kids, Landon Moore, Landon Wolf, Bowden Schoonberg, Brandon Lieb, 6'3", 6'5", 6'5", 7'1". So you're replacing that right now with 6'5" and 6'8". And so, but it is, everything you hear is that Ryan Peden got to Illinois State. And he's like, look, we are going to recruit this state, and we're going to make sure we get the good in-state players and get them to come to Bloomington Normal. And he has done that so far, and he continues to do that here with his 2026 class. You just never know. You're curious what you're losing 4 from graduation. There's always going to be somebody else that's going to leave. I mean, that's the world we live in. I say that, but they brought everybody back this year. So maybe we don't want to jump the gun on that. But from a standpoint of, I'm just curious now, the transition of recruiting philosophies with coaches in how many freshmen do you want to go get? And then how much room do you want to leave for the portal? Okay, do you just want to build freshmen and we're just going to build it that way? Or do you want to, hey, kind of 50-50, we get freshmen and then maybe we go and, go get some older guys out of the portal as well to supplement, what you have returning. But right now, 4 guys leaving at the end of the year that will graduate, 2 coming in that are freshmen. We'll see how much more active they want to be in the freshman market moving forward. But so far, 2 down for the class of 2026. All right. That about does it. A little shorter program today, but I want to thank Katelyn Young, New Murray State assistant coach, for joining us today. Got a chance yesterday to talk with, we finally were able to track each other down. Got a chance to talk with Rob Doster from the Field of 68. We are going to have, I think we're going to save that for Monday. Tomorrow, I am recording a conversation with Bradley guard Jaquan Johnson. I think we'll run that coming up on Friday of this week. So we're probably going to have more recorded interviews as opposed to live stuff, just because now that we're back into the school year, kids have class and it's easier for everybody's schedule. We just are able to record it and then put it on. So we will get those out to you when we can. But I think we'll have Jaquan Johnson from Bradley Friday, Rob Doster talking about the opening day marathon, where, of course, Murray State and Drake and Bradley will all be a part of that 6-game showcase on November the 3rd. So looking forward to bringing that conversation to you. Thank you for being with us again today. If you haven't done so already, please go to YouTube and subscribe. Help the program out. It is free. All the former shows, former interviews, all the past interviews, interview clips, and so on can be found there, all broken up. We've got all broken up by school, so you can find your favorite school and all the interviews that matter most to you. And again, while you're there and after you subscribed, if you just want to leave a comment, again, just what do you want from this show? Again, especially as we get toward the season and we get towards coming to you more frequently, and where the suggestion box is open. Want this to be the show for you, and want to be able to provide the content that you want. And so anything that's on your mind, let us know, and we'll very much appreciate it. All right, thanks to Katelyn Young one more time for being with us today. Thanks to you for being with us today. We will see you Friday morning, 9 a.m. right here on Morning in the Valley.